most important part of Pride for you?
Hi, my name is Selena. What's the most important part to Pride to me? Welcome to a very special episode of Just Press Play with Ell
and Trey,
a talk show that celebrates the queer BIPOC community through open, inclusive, and engaging conversations. It's Gay Pride here in the city, and if you can't find your gay friends, guess what? They planned it that way. We got a great show coming up for you, but first, a message from our sponsors.
Today's episode is being brought to you by the letters LGBTQ. Now, I know what you all are thinking. LGBTQ, that's so many letters. Yeah, da. And I guess, look, technically 5 is average. It always actually feels a little small to me, so shut up. Anyway, I could choose to call you a stupid bitch or just take this time to teach you a simple lesson. And lucky for you, I'm choosing to be both. Let's begin.
Oh, it's my turn. L. L stands for Let's Be Honest. Lesbians are the real tops fighting for us. L is also the only letter gays won't sniff up their noses or shove up their asses. Lesbians, single-handedly keeping U-Haul in business. Who doesn't want a shotgun relationship? I know I do. G. G stands for, say it with me, the girls.
The
girls. Thank you.
The girls.
G is also the only thing that gays will ever show up to a party on time for.
Better yet, they'll show up early and pass out. And if that joke went over your head, good.
G, single-handedly keeping horses around America singing, damn, my back hurt.
No, wait, that's K. That's a different episode. We'll get to that one.
But seriously though, our heart goes out to our fellow gay men who are relentless in spirit but will not be making it through the apocalypse.
Myself included.
Me too, bitch. I'll be gone first. I can only fit but so much in a fanny pack, bitch. I'm not bringing no bag.
And it won't save you.
It won't save you. Don't save her.
She don't want to be saved.
Don't save me.
I don't want to be saved.
Moving on to the letter B. Now, B is a special letter in our community. Special person, special people. Oh, back and forth asses. Oh, greedy ass bitches. They want their cake and to eat your ass, too.
Okay. Are we canceled yet?
No.
Okay, let's keep going.
And most importantly, T. T stands for try to make a joke about trans people and not get gutted, slutted, and head-butted out of the party. With your gay ass.
With your gay ass.
With your gay ass.
With your
Your gay ass.
You're the one in a wig looking like you finna ask for money.
Baby, what wig? What wig?
I don't know.
T.
What's so funny, bitch?
T also stands for throwing bricks.
And not just throwing any brick. We're talking about throwing the first brick. And that brick wasn't just thrown so we could throw ass at the pier. Although I do love throwing ass at the pier.
Me too.
Keep that shit up. But T stands for the ones who we can thank for the very existence of pride.
On June 28th in 1969 in Greenwich Village, the Stonewall Inn was raided by the police. Raids like this had become common, except for on this day the community fought back, a turning point for gay rights movement. And the very next year, the first Gay Pride March was held.
A reminder that most good cause for celebration are born out of protest. And what we celebrate is our resistance to oppression. Even celebrating our birthday each year is to say, bitch, I defied the odds just to exist.
You did.
I'm really that bitch, huh?
I guess. Just kidding. You are. You are.
And you are. Even Columbus Day is a celebration of overcoming stupidity, because how the fuck you think you discovered America and didn't?
America wasn't here, and he didn't discover it. That bitch.
That stupid bitch.
That syphilis-having bitch.
Okay. Oh, slut shaming Columbus? This new.
It is. I'm at a different type of low in my life.
But seriously, these days, I have to ask myself sometimes if we've resisted enough to have earned the right to celebrate during Pride. Because sometimes it feels like the protesting has conveniently stopped, just in time to leave behind the most vulnerable of us, the trans people to whom we owe it all.
And that brings us to our final letter, which is the Q. Q stands for queer. And queer is all of us, motherfuckers. So listen up.
It's Just Press Play with Ell and Trey.
We have a very special guest in the house. I've known you for 14 years. I also wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce the world who you are from your own point of view. Who is Tyla Bryant?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I feel like I'm in a pageant now with the question and answer.
You're going to win because you're the only girl that showed up today.
Miss Third Ward.
If I lose this one, I should quit. So, I mean, Tyla Bryant is the mastermind of the trans showgirl that is Tiana Maxim. And I think a lot of times people forget that there is somebody behind an entertainer, which is why I kind of have always prided myself on having like my own private life and all that stuff. But Tyla is just a regular old girl from upstate New York who just happens to be trans. But I would definitely say I'm a trans activist. I'm somebody for young queer people to look up to. And I know that sounds a little arrogant, but I think the trans experience is something you can't explain. I think it's something that people always only see the outside and not all the hard work and all the hurt that comes into it. So I'm always, every day I wake up, I'm so proud of myself that I'm still here, that I'm still doing it, that I'm still inspiring other people to do it. I did have a younger trans girl from Connecticut message me yesterday and go, I'm making this costume and it reminded me of you. And I think it's nice to touch on stuff like that because you don't realize how much you touch anybody. And I know it sounds a little perverted, but how much you touch somebody's insides and wow, this is getting worse and worse. But, but how much
We're with you, girl.
how much you can inspire somebody and show them that they can do everything they wanted to do by just being fearless. So I love to use that word, even in job interviews, that I'm fearless. I'm not afraid of anything. There's nothing you're going to tell me that I can't do, and I'm not going to try it. So I guess Tyla is just this fearless mastermind of somebody that everybody admires. So I think Tyla needs a little more credit. So I'm kind of happy to be here as Tyla and not Tiana, to be completely honest.
Thank you so much, Tyla. I really appreciate it.
Tyla the Mastermind.
Tyla the Mastermind.
I love it.
Sounds like a new album.
And actually, funny story. So my birth name was Tyler. My parents named me Tyler Jamel. And when I was going to do the legal name change, I almost put Tiana. And something in my head was like, no, like Tiana's something completely separate. And your parents gave you this very beautiful name. And they always wanted to call you TJ, even though they never call me TJ. But actually went from Tyler Jamel to Tyla Janelle just to kind of honor my parents. Because
That's really sweet.
Yeah, I when I got there and was signing that paperwork, I was like, oh my God, my parents chose this name and they loved it. And I can soften it, which I think transitioning is not about changing. It's about growing. And I said, I can grow from Tyler to Tyla. And I do like to just always tell people that because I don't like dead name either. I'm not dead. My parents gave me a name and they loved it. So I just altered it so that I'm happy and they love it. They're happy as well.
Well, we're in Pride. Obviously, it's Juneteenth. I always say, whenever I say cheers to anyone, I'm like, cheers, happy Pride. Because whenever we all link up, I'm like, this is a big moment because back in the day, we couldn't do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be careful where you walked and who you hung out with and like how you talked and how you carried yourself. With that being said, when I say Pride, what comes to mind?
For me?
Yes.
I mean, it's a derivative of the word, but being proud, like that's what the whole thing's supposed to be. I think people have lost touch with what Pride is supposed to be. And because we've lost touch and gone so far away from what Pride is supposed to be, now straight people think they deserve one. It's not about the parade. They really do. And it's not about the parade. It's not about, being able to go out and find a man. We all have Grindr and all things like that. If that's what you want to do, you could do that on your own time. It's about being proud. This is when we should all, be wearing rainbow flags as capes and as shirts and make a dress out of it. But like, there was a time where we would all be shot and killed or stoned or thrown in jail for running around the way that we are able to at this parade. But I think we've lost touch with that because there's a monetary fact to it now. People are benefiting from us. I work in retail, and every June 1st, it's like, let's put up rainbows, and I'm like, okay, but just 3 days ago, somebody in here called me a sir, and I yelled at them, and I got in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna be proud, you have to do it 365, which is why I wake up every day proud, because pride for me is not about doing these shows. It's about being present. It's about showing up to things that I can show up to. I just did an event in Puerto Rico that was a pride event. They have
talk about it.
on the west side of the Puerto Rican island. It's called Cabo Rojo, Boca on Pride. One of my gay children's aunt owns a restaurant in the area, and she lets us take the upstairs and do like a drag show. And that for me is pride. This child sought me out and said, hey, I have a dream of doing a show on my island. You can make it come true. Like, that's something for me to be proud of. Like, I don't really go to Pride. There's not much there for trans girls. It's a bunch of gay men doing not prideful things. And I mean, I don't really, I'm sorry.
Shameful.
I know.
I would say, but I do too much on the gays. I'm gonna let them.
Shameful, girl.
I'm gonna let
The
them.
horses are angry.
Shameful. I mean, enjoy yourself, I guess. But for me, it's not really something I go too much anymore. But to know that, like, this person who looks up to me, I'm able to help them make a dream come true. And this year we actually brought, I want to say 2 girls who were from 2 drag artists who were from Puerto Rico. We brought them back to like their home island. One of them is from that area, and they were able to do drag where they were born. You know what I mean? Like, that's pride, giving back to my community. That person probably never would have been able to perform in their hometown where they were born without this opportunity. So it's about opening doors for other people, because somebody opened a door for me to run through.
Yeah, it's, part of our monologue was about the way that trans people have been erased from the history of Pride and even continue to be pushed out of the community by people within our own community. Like you just mentioned, the way that there's not a lot for trans people at Pride. Do you wish that there were? Do you wish that gays made more space for trans people during Pride?
I wish they made more space for us again every day of the year. Pride is no different. For me, Pride doesn't feel different. Once I transitioned or identified as trans, I realized as a drag artist that I was already perceived differently, because now my face was softening. Then I started to develop breasts. My hips got bigger, so these pasties that I put on my body were doing what they weren't doing back then.
You're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, wait, look, I'm jiggling when I walk a little bit. It's like once I became more of a threat, or I became prettier, or I became, in my opinion, I think you'll agree, I became more confident. I was always beautiful. I was always so much fun, but I became more confident in my transition. And once I became more confident, I realized how afraid of me other people were. But being afraid of me when I'm doing nothing but supporting you, because I can go to a straight bar and sit at the bar and still drink for free. So I don't think these free drinks are doing anything. A man's going to buy them from me regardless. Not to sound arrogant, but somebody's going to buy them from me regardless. So don't think these 3 drink tickets at $75 is going to do anything when I have a man who will give me $100 to freaking like sit next to him at a bar for an hour. You know what I mean? It's kind of silly, and I wish that there was more stuff for us at Pride, or that we were more respected at Pride, because I almost feel like a mascot. It's like, there's Tiana. Like, what is she going to do that's going to make us laugh now? And it's like, they look over, and I'm like, and they like love that. You know what I mean? It's
not tap dancing.
Yeah,
not tap dancing for your sis.
Like, you know how they say like black people like, oh, don't like stop cooning, like you're trying to entertain these people. As a trans woman, I sometimes feel like in the gay community, that's why I say black and trans for me, there's not much of a difference. I still feel like that little dancing monkey. I still feel like I'm here for entertainment purposes. Like aside from my gay family, like I don't think that I get much respect in the community. But knock on wall, if I died tomorrow, they'd be posting like, oh my gosh, I loved her. She was so great. And I can comfortably say I don't feel that from everybody right now. I mean, this room, I feel a lot of love because it got me a little wine. But like, at Pride, I don't feel that.
That's real.
The next question was going to be, do you ever feel, I think we know that there's a sense and a feeling of unwelcomeness, but like from your own point of view, what can gay men, the LGBTQ community, do as a whole to make sure trans people feel welcome? Not only for Pride, but when, like, I don't know, you walk in the club on Friday nights, what is it that can be done to be better, to feel that love that we're supposed to be feeling right now?
I guess stop policing us. Stop bombarding your rules and your life onto us. Stop comparing yourself to us. I think the biggest difference between a trans woman is a gay man is, like that model was saying, take off trans and take off your sexuality. I'm a woman. You are a man. We should not be competing. Stop saying things that you think are compliments. Like when they say you don't look trans, or oh my gosh, like, what's the other one? Oh, I didn't know that man was gay for sleeping with me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's these little underhand comments that people make that they don't realize are insanely offensive to me, to my partner, to my entire community. And they think it's like funny, but it's not funny. Because then if I come back and say, yeah, well, I can your dad and be your stepmom, you know what I mean? Then I'm wrong. You know what I mean? It's like,
I like it.
I know it's awful, right? I mean, I've said it a couple times. But it's just stop comparing yourselves to us. We fall under the same umbrella of LGBTQIA plus and all of that. Mm-hmm. We all are under that umbrella, and I get it. But each one is distinctly different, and we have to acknowledge that. But for some reason, because at some point we both identified as male or we're both assigned male, they feel like there's some similarity between us, and there's not. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, there's not. There's not. And we have to stop thinking that there is.
I mean, it does get at this faction of people who believe that the interests of the LGB are separate from T. Like, I've seen a small group of people online who are rooted in transphobia, in my opinion. But it sounds like, to some extent, like we should acknowledge the differences. I'm curious what your take is on them all being housed under this same roof or umbrella of LGBTQIA+.
I think that we are under the same umbrella. Again, I was assigned, this at birth, and a lot of us at some point were handling ourselves or maneuvering as a gay man would until you transition. I did not present female forever. So there is a point in my life where I can relate to a gay man, but there's no point in you guys' life where you can relate to being a trans woman. And I think that's where the difference is.
Or a woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's where the difference is that I've traversed gender and you're the same gender. And that's where the trans umbrella then comes into effect. But the problem is that a lot of gay men don't respect the trans umbrella. And that's tough. Like I said, I've had many men that I've brought into the scene, and I've had gay boys, oh my God, he doesn't look gay. He's not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And he's not, and you're insecure.
And also, that doesn't matter.
And thank you. And also, maybe he isn't.
Yeah.
Maybe he's bisexual.
Maybe he's pansexual.
Yeah. Maybe he's demisexual. There's so many sexualities.
Maybe he has a name.
Yeah. And we want, and it's sometimes almost hypocritical, because gay men preach acceptance and want people to accept them for being gay, but then don't accept me for being trans.
The hypocrisy.
Right. They have all the fundraisers in the world, but
but where's my funds being raised?
Where are my funds?
Damn.
I'm curious to know how much you feel community with other trans women. Is there we already know from New Haven that
I don't know.
This question can be a loose cannon, but like in all actuality,
I can tame it in. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, give it to us raw. You know the gays like that.
No, we don't.
Okay.
No,
we do.
I'm getting vulgar, huh?
However, I will say, because I know Les is referring to a certain situation. I spoke to the two of them recently.
I'm not privy. Hold on now.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't talking about that. That wasn't even my question. I didn't write that one.
I mean, but who else knew? What other trans girl in New Haven would people say I don't like?
Yeah, say her name. I know that's right, Shima.
I wouldn't give them the satisfaction, because you wouldn't have them on this couch, so that speaks already. Like,
she couldn't fit her.
To where? Yeah, thank you. She'd try to have to turn sideways to walk in that door.
I'm sorry, we're all out of room.
Standing room only, elephant. So I had a situation about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. There is a trans woman from Connecticut who and I can say this very openly, because I'm a very genuine person. I idolize this person. I sat with them before I transitioned on their porch, drinking wine, eating pizza, pouring out like my emotions as being, like struggling to start my transition. And I may have told them things about myself that I probably should not have, and I found that out later on. But she recently racially attacked me twice. I'm talking calling me a monkey, telling me to go eat a white woman, yes, told me to go eat a banana.
To your face or online?
Oh, not in my face.
Okay.
We did have a face-to-face encounter about 2 or 3 years later. This is last year. I mean, I'm not going to say what I did because I know this will be posted somewhere, but like I was in her face ready to go. And she was there with somebody that was very close to me. And when I asked them, hey, why didn't you defend me? They actually flipped out on me. And I said, I'm the one that's being like attacked here.
Yeah.
Remember when she called me a monkey?
Remember when she called me a monkey in front of you?
And then remember when my parents would buy you Christmas gifts because you couldn't get home for Christmas? You know what I mean? It's like you're allowing this person to speak to me this way instead of, I'm not asking you to defend me if we're not friends at this point. We're not friends at this point. But what she did is wrong. To remove me from the situation, put another black person here, would you be okay with this? Because you don't like me, clearly. That's why you're allowing this behavior. But remove me, put another black person. Was this acceptable? And I never got an answer to that question.
It wasn't, no. But the thing about it is, with that situation is, there's definitely a right answer. No. There comes a line where like, hey, you don't like so-and-so, you don't like Tyla, I'm gonna let you vent your little feelings. But when you get racist or you get transphobic or when you get anything that goes against what I believe in,
I have to say something.
Have to be, hey, I know you're upset, but like that seems not to be on the same cue as what I'm feeling.
And I don't typically have issues with anyone. It's not like a thing I do.
Do you have? But is there a sense of community amongst trans women?
Amongst some, I would say no, because some are very in their ways. They may be boy crazy, they may be money crazy, they may be party crazy, they
got their things.
Stay at home crazy, and I think everybody is different. So I wouldn't say there can be a sense of community. You have to find the right one.
Yeah.
I tend to be closer friends with the girls who teeter from party crazy and money crazy because that's kind of how I am. You know what I mean? You want to find, it's just like finding a friend when you're in school. You find the one, if you like Pokemon and she like Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm not coming over to the Yu-Gi-Oh table because what do we have in common? You know what I mean? That's how I see it. And right?
Rebecca's trading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That bitch.
She has a 3-eyed dragon. How dare you? You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna go where I feel that my where I align. Mm-hmm. But then there are girls that even within that community who may not like you because you party more or you make more money. So it's like, I think one of the biggest things is like I've removed jealousy from how I feel with other trans women because it's not healthy. It's not healthy to be jealous of anybody. But just because you, let's say, make more money and party more than I do, I want to get like you. So I might get under you. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. I have a sense of you see somebody doing well and they're in your atmosphere. Reach out and touch that hoe and say, listen, I want to be like you. You know what I mean? I have a lot of friends who I look up to for things that they've done because they've done so well. Like, I think we need to remove jealousy and add admiration, because admiration means that it's like a positive. It's more of a positive way of saying, like, I see what you're doing and I like it.
Yeah.
So for me, a sense of community is I want to see girls that are doing things that I would want to do or things that I have wanted to do, whether I still want to do it or not. But seeing you do it makes me feel good. One of my best friends in Miami, she's a dental hygienist as a black trans woman from Mississippi. And if she sees this, she's going to know I'm talking about her. But she's somebody I look up to. Her and her husband just got married. Like, she's living the life that, if my world aligned in that way, I would be doing the same thing. It's not I want to take it from her.
Right.
But
you're proud of her.
Yeah.
And you're happy for her.
And they say, you are who you hang out with. So if I hang out with her long enough, maybe I could become a dental hygienist and get married too.
Did you want to be a dental hygienist?
No, I don't want to be a dental hygienist. But I just mean like that college degree. And, you want to be around people that are doing the things that you want to do. She's always been like somebody that I almost want to say looked up to, even though I'm older than her. Why? She's doing things that align with me. My trans mother who lives right here in the Bronx, her and her fiance, they live together, and she's like a stepmom and blah, blah. It's like, those are the girls that I want to align myself with, because those are the things that I see for myself. I've always imagined myself having a wedding. I've always imagined myself with a house full of children. Like, to get that, I have to be around people that are doing that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck in my
It's like
old.
you are the people you hang out with.
Yeah. So that's what, for me, it's like the sense of community comes from what do you want and what are you doing to get it?
Yeah, I think it's so important to not necessarily look at you seeing someone who has something you want and wanting it for yourself as an inherently bad thing, right? Like you could take that and be like, oh, well, she is, or you could be like, how do I work to get that? How do I let that motivate me?
And
which is like something I think we all learn at some point.
Starting as a young trans woman and being around girls that had, they had implants and they had their electrolysis, they had this, they had that. And I'm sitting over there as a flat-chested person like, damn, I want all of that.
Yeah.
And one of them said, honestly, I've seen your mom and sister. If you just take your hormones for a couple years, you probably are going to get breasts and hips. And here I am. I haven't had a surgery, but I can sit now with them more comfortable. But most people would be afraid to have even brought up these fears and these things that they would like or things about this person that they admire. Some people are afraid of that. And that goes back to me saying before that I'm fearless. I will tell you an insecurity of mine because I've already battled it. You can't throw it at me and it hurt me. You could throw it at me and show me your character, but you're not going to hurt me on something I told you. And I've been fortunate enough that I haven't been surrounded by a lot of girls that would use my insecurities to hurt me. So I'm very fortunate in that matter, but I think that also comes from just my ability to, I hate saying win people over, but to show you that I'm a nice person and it's very genuine and you feel it. So I don't know. Community it's difficult, but it's hard work. Being trans is hard work. Being alive is hard work. You know what I mean?
Being alive is hard.
Being
You
alive
have
is
to put the
hard.
work in, and you can't expect amazing results while you're just sitting in the corner mad because she has double D titties and I can see your heartbeat through your chest. You know what I mean? It's like you have to do it. You have to go and do something about it. And I'm
you're
really big on
letting
that.
me know I don't want to ever be read by you.
Oh my
She has
God.
a lined up. I'm like, okay,
This
I've heard
so
a few where I would have been
bad.
like, wait.
Yeah, no, my mouth. Who, me? You're like, my heart's beating? Don't look over your head.
And we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with some more Tiana Maxim, Tyla Bryant.
Tiana. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with our gracious guest, Tyla Bryant, and we're continuing our conversation about trans visibility and pride.
There's a definition of pride that relates to gay pride, which is the state of being proud and feeling satisfaction, happiness with oneself. How did transitioning impact your satisfaction in yourself?
Like I said before, I realized I was not a boy at a young age. So being trans now, the satisfaction I get is I always tell people this: when you try to censor me, you're censoring like a young black queer person's dream. Because I can say when I look in a mirror now, I'm like, yo, bitch, you did it. You know what I mean? Like I feel that sense of euphoria. Is there stuff that I want to do to change certain things? Absolutely. But I think transitioning has helped my confidence. It has helped my my happiness. One of the best things in the world is to look in the mirror and be happy with who you see. And I can comfortably say I am. You know, I don't really hide. You have to fall in love with yourself, and transitioning really did it. I saw myself gain 100 pounds. When you say it to somebody, they're like, oh my God, you gained 100 pounds. I gained 100 pounds and still looked in the mirror every day and was like, damn, girl, you look good with your little fat ass. So it's just like falling in love with yourself and falling in love with the flaws. And there are several things on my body that I don't like. And I can tell you this, the first one is my stomach.
Okay, we're not doing all that. Not too much.
But you know what I mean? But that's like, I can say that because if somebody were to say, oh, you're fat, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, fall in love with yourself. When you love yourself, you have such a respect. You don't allow people to do certain things to you. You don't allow, certain things to happen. You have to withhold the power in your own life. And transitioning really did that to me, I would say. Made me like a superhero.
Love it.
You guys said, how would you get here? Oh, I'm going to take the train, I'll get off at 125th. I'll get off at wherever you want me to get off. I'm just happy to be able to just exist. You know what I mean? It's sad to say that it's a privilege, but it is. The unfortunate age that most Black trans women are gone is 35, and I'm 32. So I always say, if I only got 3 years left, they're gonna be the best 3 years of my life.
We have so many more.
I was gonna say I ain't
so
going.
many more.
I'm not going at 30, but it's just something that I like to tell people, because whenever I say it, they're like, "Really, really?" It is. That's the unfortunate truth. Is a lot of us are gone by 35. So I try to live proudly, because there are girls who didn't get this opportunity to live to be this age, to see the things that I've seen. I had a girlfriend who passed away a year ago, and you know, when you're shown somebody and you feel like you're looking into a mirror, I felt like I was looking into a mirror, and we were so different, but we were so aligned. We only knew each other for about 6 months, and I would say she was one of my best friends. And
Say her name.
her name was Tiana Lee, or her performance name was Karma, from Stamford, Connecticut. The things that we wanted to see together, she can't see them. So I'm happy to be here to be able to see them. And I know she's with me. So she's up there like, Auntie, we're doing it. And for that, it's like, I can't go anywhere, because everything she's ever wanted to do, I want to do it for her. So transitioning has given me this confidence to do anything, to be fearless. So it's just about not being afraid, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to
beautiful.
say it.
That's really so beautiful. I just look back on the 14 years of knowing you. You've been one of the most happiest, confident people I think I know from New Haven. And, you know, even calling you my family and coming back home to see you. And I'm grateful for your life form. I'm appreciative that even when I met you, I was 22, 23. I didn't know about being gay, let alone being, you know, knowing trans people, and then just watching your elevation, your evolution, and how you've always been the same person all the time. It's just like, I always want to say your name, see your face, go to your performance, talk to you, just know that I'm one of the people that, like, literally, I love you so much. You know, you just made me, you know.
And I
think
really
that's too
appreciate
much.
that. And you said something, say her name, say your name. Unfortunately, people only do that when you're gone, and I don't like that idea. There are Black trans women that stand in front of any person that's in the LGBTQ community, gay, lesbian. I'm jumping in front of a hot bullet for all of you, but you're not even acknowledging me unless I'm gone. Then it's like, oh, she was great. And I'm glad that you asked me to do this, because I feel like I'm getting a lot more opportunities to speak on the Black trans experience. And most people don't realize how educated I am, how well I speak. And I think that that's...
Who doesn't realize that?
A lot of people don't. You know, when I tell people I have a political science degree, they're like, really? You went to college? Like, yeah, I went to college. And I think it's like such a disservice to count me out from anything.
Yeah.
So like, the reason I was so open to doing this, it's an opportunity for me to be not Tiana. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity for people to see Tyla. Like I said, the mastermind behind it all that craziness that I do in clubs is me, like, letting loose. You know what I mean? And Lucy Latuka better not ask me for any money for that. It's
You
like,
do know her.
that's my dog. But it's just an opportunity for me to show everybody that, like, I am a person. I know that I may only come out to clubs because I do work a lot. You know, I have family and I stay with my mom and dad now, and I do a lot for them as well. But there's a person behind that crazy girl you see up there, whether she's wearing nothing or a gown, there's a person behind that.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a lot more opportunities to speak as a Black trans woman, and I just make sure that I use all of them to say every name of a Black trans woman that I know that deserves to be sitting in this seat at some point. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity that I'm not going to take for granted. So, like, thank you guys truly for having me here.
And you deserve that, and they're going to keep coming.
Thank you.
And I hope that we can help through making this
Honestly,
episode.
well,
This
now
is
people will
what
be like,
pride's
wow, she
about.
speaks.
This is
about
pride.
uplifting each other's voices, especially the most marginalized in our community, the LGBTQIA plus bitch. That's a lot of letters. We've changed over the years. We acknowledge everybody.
What's the most important part of Pride?
The most important part of Pride is love, acceptance, being open to everything that
maybe people before us did not get an opportunity to do. We're so blessed to be able to openly and outwardly express how proud we are to be queer, to be LGBTQIAA+. And that's an honor. There's people before us that couldn't do this. They knocked down the door and we came through. So we have to remember them. And that's the most important part of Pride.
Hi, my name is Selena. What's the most important part to play? To me. Finally living my authentic true self.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, just living my authentic self and just feeling amazing and beautiful in my skin and finally owning it and not having any shame. And passing that on to I'm a 43-year-old woman, trans woman. I just started transitioning 3 years ago.
Period.
And this is what you get.
And it looks good, Mama.
Thank you. And for those out there who are younger, y'all got this.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. It's all good. Happy Pride.